Welcome to this session. Things to note when interpreting melodies. Number one, the clef. You have to note in which clef the melody has been written. For instance, it could be a treble clef or it could be a bass clef. There are other clefs such as alto and tenor clefs which will be handled in another lesson. How do you know it is a treble clef? This is the symbol for a treble clef, which is also called a G clef, simply because at this particular point, it looks like a G. The next clef to note is the bass clef. The bass clef looks like an inverted F with the two dots at this point where the fourth line passes through the two dots. And because it looks like an inverted F, it is hence called an F clef. They determine the pitch you're going to use when singing or playing an instrument for a certain melody. Number two, you need to consider the time signature. Is it simple time signature just like 4/4? Is it 3/4? Is it 2/2? There are so many time signatures. So before reading or involving yourself in singing or playing a melody, you need to consider what is the time signature so that it defines which notes receive the beat and at which point the beat is. That's very important. The third thing to note is the key. That is the key signature. The key signature determines which notes will be played irrespective of the pitch of the note. For example, at grade 7, you look at the key of C, G, D, and A. So, how do you identify the key signature? You identify them using the number of sharps. For example, the key signature of C has no sharp. So you will find your melody written with the no sharp indicated anywhere. Then this is a C, unless if it is used where the composer wants to express themselves in a different way, or rather in a special way. The key of G will have one sharp, that is F sharp, and the sharp will be placed on the fifth line, that is F sharp. So immediately after the clef, you notice there's a sharp sign. For instance, at this particular point, this indicates it's in G, or the melody is in the key of G. If the melody is in the key of D, then you're going to have two sharps, the F sharp and the C sharp. F sharp is on a line, C sharp is on a space, to be precise, on the third space of the treble clef. The next key you could find in grade 7 CBC is the key of A, and it will be having three sharps. That is F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Remember, after the line F follows the space, which is the G. So when you find your melody, just after the clef, you have three sharps arranged in this manner such that you can identify the R3, and the three are F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp when the melody is in the key of A. Next, number 4 thing to note is the rhythm. Before attempting to sing, are you able to clap the rhythm? And the rhythm will be closely related to the time signature because they'll be separated by bar lines. If they are separated by bar lines, how many counts are in each bar? For example, if it is 4/4, you're expecting 4 crochets per bar. It could also be 3/4, written on the staff as 3/4. This means you're going to have 3 crochets. That's how you identify if you are able to read the rhythm or not. Be careful because not all notes have to be crochets. You may find a 3/4 or a melody in 3/4 having such. The most important aspect is to determine if you can be able to clap it. If I used ta, 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 te, those are French rhythms, I'll say ta, ta, te, ta. You need to know as you clap how fast should the clapping be or how slow should it be. So we look at tempo. The tempo determines how fast or how slow a melody should be sung or played. In this case, it's usually written at the top. For example, after everything has been indicated, then you realize you have such a writing. This means that the melody should be played with the crochet being the beat and taking 120 beats per minute. 120 beats per minute. The numbers can vary. You can also find it at 72. This means 72 beats per minute. Therefore, as you clap your rhythm over here, you need to know how fast and how slow should it be so that it is steady. The last point for this lesson, what to look for, are the dynamics. Dynamics determine how loud or how soft the music should be played. Loud or soft. They will be indicated by symbols. For example, a single P to mean piano, and its meaning is soft. So you play it softly. You could find F called forte. Its meaning is loud. You could also find FF called fortissimo. It's loud but louder than forte, so louder. If it is PP, means pianissimo, means softer, softer than piano. You need to identify there are other methods such as mezzo forte, mezzo piano, fortissimo, and pianissimo, which can be used to indicate how loud or how soft you should be able to clap or sing, or in this case, play an instrument. Now that you've looked at the theoretical aspect of it, watch out for the next lesson where we will be putting this aspect to note into practical.